Mr. President, I would like to start by quoting yourself, that something you said in the press conference. Yeah. You said that the elections were as good as possible.
Yeah.
But then should the people in Nepal believe you? Because last time you got it wrong, isn't it?
Well, you know, last time the comparison was between that and not having democracy at all, and the fact that the revolutionaries, the Maoists, had come in and participated. So it was a very good example of great progress. It was not perfect, obviously, and when we issued our final report, we made clear that there was some intimidation, some mistakes made at local polls. But this time, I believe, as I said in the press conference, that the Election Commission tried every way they could to correct the problems or mistakes they made in the past. You know, I don't know of any we've met with the other international observers, UNPREL, and also with the European Union, and they all agree with us that it was it's near, I wouldn't say perfect, but it was as good as it could be.
But as you may have heard by now, the Maoists, UCP and Maoists, they have decided to withdraw from the Constituent Assembly.
Of course, yeah, I covered that in
saying that, you know, elections actually went free and fair, and there were, you know, lots of riggings and things like that. So
they are
what is
wrong.
your reaction?
They are mistaken. Their allegations of corruption or fraudulence is completely erroneous.
But your people visited just over 300 polling stations. On the basis of that, can you speak for more than 18,000 polling stations?
I can't say that every polling station was perfect. I can say that we had a good representation. UNPREL took some that we didn't take, and European Union took as many others as we could, so we covered as best we can. And my judgment was based on my collective observations and my collective knowledge. So I was speaking my own opinion, and I believe my opinion was correct.
And Maoists are really critical of you. And in the morning, when they, on Thursday morning, when they held the press conference, they actually went to the extent of saying, down with President Carter. They are very critical about you. What do you have to say?
Well, you know, I've been criticized many times, even in my own country. And the Carter Center, I think, on a global basis, has an excellent reputation of integrity and knowledge and substantiality, and the thoroughness with which we do our witnessing and the caution with which we make our judgments. So I don't have any fear of criticism.
Okay, but do you have any message for them, the Maoists?
Well, I'll deliver my message to Mr. Bhattacharya, and later on this afternoon, I'll deliver my message to Chairman Prachanda.
So what would be the message? Because
the message would be that take your complaints or your criticisms directed to the election officials, do it orderly and legally and peacefully. And my advice to them is that for the positions to which you were elected in the Constituent Assembly, to take your post and to participate in the future process of developing a new constitution. That's my advice to them.
Do you think this peace process would succeed if they actually decide to withdraw and not to join in the new Constituent Assembly?
Well, it depends on whether they resort to violence or not. I certainly hope they will not, and I don't believe that they will.
You believe they will resort?
I do not believe that they would resort to violence, no. But the government can continue if they withdraw, if they choose not to.
But without them, do you think the Constitution would be written?
I believe it can be, yes. My hope is, as I said 2 or 3 times to you, that they will take their positions in the Assembly and they will participate. If they do not, then I believe that the other parties can write a new constitution, yes.
Many commentators were also pretty upset with, you, in the sense that when it was reported in the Nepali press that when you met the Nepalese president, Dr. Yadav, you suggested that the French model is good for the form of governments in Nepal.
Well, apparently you didn't read what the people there reported. His assistants reported to the press that I mentioned a number of different kinds of governments. I didn't endorse any one. I mentioned my government with a strong president. I mentioned the British government, you know, with a prime minister system. a parliamentary system. I mentioned the French as a compromise, but I don't endorse any particular one.
So you didn't suggest any particular system
No, of course
for
not.
Nepal?
You
You
know,
didn't.
I don't tell the Nepalese people what kind of government they should have.
What do you think will be the way forward for Nepal finally?
The what?
Way forward. I mean, to complete the peace process, to write the constitution, what do you think would be the best way to go ahead?
Well, I think the best way to go ahead is to have all the members of the Constituent Assembly who are elected and who are willing to take their position and then to proceed. I would hope that they would start with the 80% or so that they've already done. They have a few still remaining issues to be resolved, how many provinces to have, whether they should have resort to resumption of the Hindu religion as being preeminent. I think they'll stick to secular. Whether they'll have a monarchy or not, I don't think they will. But those kind of things are well for them to decide. But they have about 20% of the issues of the Constitution to still resolve. And I have confidence that no matter who takes their seats or who doesn't take their seats, I have confidence that they will continue that process in 6 months, and as they all promise, and that they'll then submit it to the people in a referendum to be accepted or rejected. And I've talked to some of the leaders of the party this afternoon late, and they say, some of the parties, and they say that if they can't reach a complete consensus of those participating in the Congress, then they will submit the questions to the people to be resolved in a referendum and let the people decide.
So you think if the parliament can't decide, then it can go to the referendum?
I do, yes. On a few issues, like let's just say, for instance, that some want 11 provinces and some want 5 provinces. They could submit that question to the people to decide, do you want 11 or do you want 5?
Thank you so much, Mr. President.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.